对了。Wait, there is a sun your phone. Qual ma fammi il fan? Ehi, per nuovo è fatto. Dia sendiri banyak kan. Itu mikir kok.
Ya, mikir. Ini sekolah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Harima Pitra Bhagwan ki jai, Sachi Sanatan Dharma ki jai. My dear friends, this morning we all come in one accord to pay final tribute to our beloved as he lies before us. We witness this ceremony that is known as the Ananteshti funeral ceremony. It tells us according to scripture and sense that there are several stages, several steps through which the body goes. The first being procreation, and the last being this the Ananteshti funeral. It is prescribed according to scripture that while we perform these rituals of the Ananteshti funeral, those who in attendance, you and I, we must all stand as an act of respect. Let us all stand at this time as we bow our heads in prayer, praying to that one infinite being from whom we have all come, asking and begging and praying that may the transition to the soul of our beloved be a peaceful one. Hari Om Viganeshwaraya Varanaya Surapranam Bhutaraya Sakalaya Jagathitaya Naga Suruteke Vibhushita Gauri Suta Gananath Namo Namaste. Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Gete Yatripatamaham Mande Paramanandamaravam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govinda Namo Namah. Anadini Dano Deva Shankha Chakra Garadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Preta Moksha Pradur Bhava. Om Maritri Dioritiran Tarikshavam Maritri Samata Sapita Saputra Amuka Namasya. 5 of you, think of your names. Amuka Janmadin, your date of birth. Amuka Pret Namasya, think of Papa's name. Iti Sriyam Teshti Karam Meyanyan Teta Upatishtatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Harima Pitra Bhagwan ki jai. In front of you. Om Narayanam Narahari Narayanam Keshava Narayanaya Govindaya Paramatmane Namo Namah. Touching hands, we sprinkle water throughout the body, symbolic of praying for purification, symbolic of path. Om Atyamagotasya Mukapretasya Mrityastani Swaram Snanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Papoham Papakarmam Papatmam Pundarikaksha Trahimam Pundarikaksha Sarva Papa Haru Hari Punatu Punatu Om Sri Paramatmani Namah. We adorn the body with chantan. Om Atyamagotasya Mukapretasya Pretasya Chandanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Om Sri Chandanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Dhanurdana Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Drvani Tirma Tirmama Om Atyamagotasya Mukapretasya Chandanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Chandanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We adorn the body with perfume. Om Adyamagotasya Mukapretasya Gandadanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Gandam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Lokabhiramam Ranaranganiram Rajevanitram Raghuvansanatam Karanyarupam Karunakarantam Sri Ramachandram Sirisha Namami. Om Sri Paramatmani Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Whenever we perform this ceremony, the ananteshti of the funeral, garlands of flowers or malas that place around the neck of the person who has died. But the thread or the cord that holds these flowers together must be broken. And so it teaches us the very valuable lesson that we break the bond that we once shared with this body, and all that will remain behind are the beautiful flowers of memories that Papa took me behind. Hari Om Sri Vishnave Namaha. Om Adyamagotasya Mukapretasya Pushpam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Pushpadanam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Preta Atma Shanti Bhavatu Panchatattva Shanti Bhavatu Tutkai Mala Modi Bikari Chali दो दिन रहे तारी साथ जानी बिकरी चली टूट गई है माला मोटी बिकरी चली दो दिन रहे तारी साथ जानी बिकरी चली. In every funeral I appreciate that I get in trouble. Nobody likes to hear the truth. The truth always sounds highly offensive. But in every funeral I appreciate that I say this. The time to do arti for any given person is when they're alive, not when they're dead. We make a long line to do the arti for the dead body, and while you're alive, nobody looks at you, nobody talks to you, nobody cares for you, nobody shows any affection for you. You're treated worse than you're dead. The time to seek the blessing of any person is when they can lift their hand and when they can bless you. The time to eulogize any given person is when they're alive and they could hear this. It is prescribed scripturally that we must wave the arti 5 times in a fixed position, saying trapped in this body, there are the 5 senses of seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. We give you thanks. We wave the arti 5 times walking around, saying trapped in this body, there are the 5 elements of the earth and the air and the water. Today we ask that may those elements be returned safely to that place where they came from. Om Sri Vishnave Namaha. Hari Om. Touch hands. Om Yamadwari Mahagore Deepam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam Tattvalokanaataya Deepam Yadiyate Ta Upatishadam पांचतत्व शांतिर्भवतु पांचतत्व शांतिर्भवतु धरती तत्व शांतिर्भवतु आकाश तत्व शांतिर्भवतु जल तत्व शांतिर्भवतु अग्नि तत्व शांतिर्भवतु ओम प्रेतात्मा शांतिर्भवतु हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे जो चले आज हमारे राम अयोध्या जो चले आज हमारे राम अयोध्या जो चले बनवासी बन राज दुलारी सबका नाटा चोर चले मुख मोर चले आज हमारे राम अयोध्या जो चले आज हमारे राम अयोध्या जो चले हो आज हमारे राम अयोध्या जो चले ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्ण यत्र पाटो धनुर्धर तत्र श्री विजयो भूति द्रोणी तिर्ममा ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः हरि मां भगवान की जय गणेशों सीते रस्ताई श्री विष्णवे नमः ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः श्री विष्णवे नमः You're not going anywhere, come on. Put on your water. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. At this time, I'm going to hand over the microphone to my public family who has planned the morning's tribute, the morning's eulogy, but tell us a little bit about the life and the legacy of Papa as he lies before us.
Today is a simple one, but also a very critical. While we are here to celebrate the life of my grandfather, Boysie Roopnarine. It is with a heavy heart that I pay him this tribute. Born on Wednesday, 5th June 1940. To the late Chinese and Roopnarine.
He was the fourth of 7 children. His earlier years were spent in Gandhi village, Delhi. And after marrying his beautiful wife Rosie Siraj, they both moved to this address and have lived here ever since. Together they had 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Throughout his life, he has always been very hardworking. He was a well-known proprietor or shopkeeper, as most of you will know. He also sold goods at the market and drove truck. Several words can be used to describe him, as I am sure you all will agree. But his character stands out for his simple, humble, genuine, and extremely generous personality. The older folks in the community would know what I'm talking about. He was also a sportsman and had a passion for cricket and playing cards, especially all fours. Although he was quiet and sometimes serious person, he valued family life. Every weekend and holiday time, he would load up his family. Load. He would load up his family in the car, or van, and take them to visit relatives. But he was also a fun person. He used to round up his children, nephews, and nieces, and take them to the drive-in Marabella to see Indian movies. I don't know how he used to make everybody fit in that concept, but he did, like sardines in a can. One of the things he enjoyed doing was giving his children that famous belly ride when driving through St. Martin by the pond. A life lesson that he always passed on was time is precious, cherish it, and that hard work and dedication is always key to being successful. I must add that he was a good disciplinarian too. When he had the shop a long time, he had his children busy working with him, and they better not be playing lazy or idling in the back when customers waiting at the front, else garlic crate or anything else he could put his hand on coming behind them. So you see, wasting time definitely had consequences.
He was very fond of all his grandchildren and loved them dearly. He loved playing cricket and cards with them, and sometimes you would swear that this man was a human play park all in one, yes? He would go down on his hands and knees to give us horseback rides. His belly was like a trampoline, and from his lap to his feet was a slide and a seesaw. And after all that, we sure to get a good rub down with coconut oil. Papa was a great man who touched the lives of many people in one way or another. In his later years, when he became ill, he fought a good fight and held on for as long as he could to be with us. A true champion till the very end. But we can't be selfish. We were blessed to be part of his life. And now it is time for us to let him go. We know that he will be okay. He is leaving us with so many wonderful memories to hold on to. Papa, we love you and we miss you. So you just rest well until we meet again.
Parimat Pitra Bhagavani ki jai. In every funeral, I appreciate that. I say that every scripture and every religion preaches and teaches us about death. But while there are many things we can run and try to hide from, none of us we could run and try to hide from death. For Christian brothers and sisters this morning, in the Holy Bible, the Christ says, to be absent in the body is to be present and seated with God. He says, in my Father's kingdom, there are many mansions prepared for you, and if this was not so, I would have told you. In the Holy Quran, the Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace, said, I died from a stone, I became a plant. I died from a plant, I became an animal. I died from an animal, I became a human. And then I died from being a human, and I became an angel, seated with God. In the Bhagavad Gita, it tells us the very same thing that the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran says, but a little bit different. The Bhagavad Gita says there is a place prepared for your soul when you die, but it is not prepared by God, it is prepared by you, based on the life that you live. This morning, as we pay tribute to our beloved, This ceremony will not be complete if I didn't ask Auntie Bisun to sing for us. And so, as she sings, we continue performing the rituals and the rites this morning.
Sitaram, Pranam to Baba. All I have to say is because, not really say, but I mean, what is Boysie is one person from our family that that soul was a very good soul, and missing that soul, we have lost a lot. I get married in that house for over 50, 60 years, and I lived with them in a family for so many years, and Boysie never lifted his voice at one time to talk to me hard or with disrespect or anything. He always gave me that respect as a mother, although I was nearly his age. Any time to do anything to make us happy in that house, he used to try. And well, so many nice things about him that you can't talk now. But even when Boysie was getting married, I could remember that in those days they used to have everything like a long time. They used to have crown and jama and all these things. His clothes were so pretty. And when he got dressed to go to get married, he was looking so handsome, you know. And he got married and bring a nice lady home too, my sister-in-law. She was very nice too. All I have to say, well, I want to wish him the best, because he has been a good soul like this, being so kind and generous to people. God should take him in his arm and give him a good place in heaven. That is all I have to say. Boysie, go and take a rest. You work hard and you live long. Take a rest in God also. Sitaram. I can't sing it. Hare Ram Milan कब होई अंदेशवा लागी रही हरि राम मिलन कब होई अंदेशवा लागी रही
श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. I will do a simple chant, and I think everybody, if they would like to, they can also chant along. It's very simple. Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe, Govinda.
Harima Pitra Bhagavani ki Jai. Thank you very much. And enjoy. This morning there are two things that I think you forgot in the eulogy. Well, two things that I would remember, but actually three things. One of the things is that this man loved the newspaper. The second thing is this man loved to go to the bank. And the third thing is this man loved to wear a shirt jack. Every time you would have seen him in a shirt jack and some kind of pants with a sharp seam that just by looking at it could cut your eye. He was a good dresser. I think you forgot those things. Those are the four things that I could remember about Papa. This morning I want to tell a little story. Alan, I want to tell you. Any question I ask you, don't answer. You'll get in trouble. So I'm putting out a disclaimer, right? And you know your wife looking at you, so you have to be very careful. At one time, there lived a king. And the king considered himself to be very blessed because he had 4 wives. Alan, you think you could manage 4 ladies? Don't answer. Considering himself to be very blessed, the 4th of his wife, she was very beautiful. And anywhere the king had to go on business or pleasure, he'll hold the hand of his 4th wife and he'll take her. The 3rd wife, she loved to eat, she loved to dress, she loved to look nice, she loved to go out, she loved to come back. So anything she wanted, the king will do for her. The 2nd wife only liked to look good. So anything she wanted, the king will provide for her. But the 1st wife was a little bit old and frail. And so the king locked her in a room and he paid no heed to her. But after living many lush, long years as the king, one day he suddenly fell ill. And as he fell ill, the doctors came into the palace and they examined the king. Examining the king, they said, "King, we think you're going to die." The king, hearing this, he started to laugh. And the doctors were confused. "You're going to die and you're laughing?" And the king said, "Look how lucky I am." He called out to his 4th wife and he said, "Anywhere I went, on business or pleasure, you went with me, I'm going to die, I want you to go." She said, "When you're dead, I'll remain right here." He called out to the 3rd wife and he says, "Anything you wanted to eat and drink and wear and anywhere you wanted to go, I provided, but I'm going to die, I want you to go." And she said, "Well, okay, I will go, but the furthest I'm reaching you is to the burial or the cremation. After that, you're left alone." He called out to his 2nd wife. He said, "I'm going to die, I want you to go." She rolled her up in her head. She stamped her foot on the ground and she stoops. You ever see how the ladies do it? Don't answer. And as she rolled her eyes up in her head and she stoops and stamped her foot, she looked at him and she said, "The minute I hear you're dead, I'm going to remarry." The king started to cry. And in a distance, the king heard the voice of his 1st wife saying, "I will hold your hand and I will walk with you even in death." This morning, all of us who are here, we have 4 wives, not physical, but literal wives. The 4th wife that we love to dress up and make look good and carry everywhere with us is this body. But a day will come when this will be the fate of our body. Have you given thought to that? A day will come when all of us will be lying in this very same position. We're very conscious of what our body looks like. We all know that COVID is on the rise again. We all know that we could get COVID at any time. We all know that we could die from COVID. But do you know why many of the ladies did not wear masks? Because they're wearing lipstick. That's why. Because we want our body to look so nice. But at the end, when all is said and all is done, the body is of no use. The 3rd wife that loved to eat and drink and go out and anything she wanted, the king will provide for her, is every single one of us here. Every one of us love Papa. Every one of us, Papa did something to add value to our lives. But this morning, the furthest we can reach him is to that cremation. And after that, he's left alone. The 2nd wife that says she will remarry is everything that this man, Boysie, called his own. The minute he dies, it becomes somebody else's own. So I want to tell you, I have some news for you. Start using everything you have as much as possible. Because when you're dead, your clothes is a dead man clothes, nobody wearing it. Go in your buffet and pull out the nice wares and start to use it. Long ago, you cooked a special meal on a Sunday. Every day is Sunday, once you could move. Long ago, you stick a cake and you had a cake only for a birthday. You're alive, that's something to celebrate. Anything you feel to eat and anything you feel to drink, and at any time, enjoy existence. Because time is slipping out. Time is slipping by. Before we know it, we too will be lying in this position. The first wife of the king that says, I will hold your hand and I will walk with you even in death, is the first wife that all of us we have locked away and paid no heed to. Trapped somewhere in our body, there is a soul. And while our body remains behind, a day will come when our soul will stand accountable to the Maker that we came from. Every religion and every scripture preaches and teaches us about that day of judgment. In the Holy Bible it says, the trumpet of the Lord will sound and the dead will rise to give an account. In the Holy Quran it says, when the last man leaves the burial ground and making 40 footsteps away from the grave, the angels descend into the grave and the body sits up to give an account. And this morning, Bhagwan is going to tell Papa, tell me the kahani, tell me the story of your life. Teri karam kahani, teri atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. I gave you eyes, tell me about all the things you saw. I gave you ears, tell me about the things that you listened to. I gave you nostrils, tell me about the things that you inhaled. I gave you the mouth, tell me about the things that you ate and you drank, and tell me about all the words that you spoke. I gave you hands, tell me about the actions that you performed. I gave you legs, tell me about all the places that you went to. What kind of story will we be telling to God? There are a million times that we could go to the puja, and we could go to the church, and we could go to the mosque. But the minute you hear that, your knee hurting, and you have a headache, and you're tired, you hear party, nobody invites you, it's none of your business, and you reach. And that's how we are designed. But a day will come when no party will be able to save you. None of your association and affiliation with whoever will be able to save you. It is only the relationship that you shared with your Maker. This morning, Papa is leaving behind a message, a lesson, that while we are busy building relations with those around us, let us remember to make God our best friend. But at the end, when all is said and all is done, only the relationship that we shared with God will really matter. This morning, sing with me, everybody, as we pray on behalf of the soul. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चांद तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न केवल हारा हो, फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे, पूर्ण कर ले सबकी आशा. जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. जय कृष्ण हरे. श्री कृष्ण हरे. दुखियों को दुख दूर करे. जय जय जय. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे, पूर्ण कर ले सबकी आशा. जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहूं. भव सागर में तेरी नैया, जन्मी मन में जाए किनार हो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। हरिमा पितृ भगवान की जय। Very closely associated to the family is, well, we know him as Uncle Dennis, you will know him as Pastor Dennis. And so we're privileged to have him this morning. So I'm going to ask him to give his blessing. This morning, and then we will do the mantras of benediction and the final mantras this morning.
Thank you very much, Babs. Sitaram. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be given the privilege just to pay tribute to Uncle Boysie, as we call him. I have known him for 44 years. I used to do his paperwork when it comes to renewing of his license with a club that he used to operate here. And then in 1984, when the Trinidad and Tobago National All-Post League had to go to Canada to play all-post, which was one of his favorite hobbies, I was selected as manager of the team. And his eldest son, Prakash, fell ill during that 6-week period we spent there. And when I visited Prakash at the hospital in Toronto, he cried. He said, "Don't worry, I'm your manager. I'm your relative. I represent your father as well." And Dr. Eusebio, a Filipino doctor, said, when she learned of my position with the team, he will get over. He has a pancreatic inflammation. And if he passes it through this tube, we insert it through his nostril and so on, it will come out in the form of mucus. He'll make it. Otherwise, if we had to do surgery, it would cost over 70,000 Canadian dollars at that time. Well, we did pray for him and so on. He got over. He did not have to do any surgery. Another instance I remember is that with family get-togethers and so on, he was the coordinator. He was the motivator. You know, and everything hinged on his input. But having said that, you know, I always remember the honesty of this man, the willingness to serve and share, the industry of the man, always willing to try something, a new business, or letting out the place to other businesses and so on. And when my wife's cousin joined the family, that's Robin, who got married to Kamla, I became closer to them, you know. My friend Krishna, a fellow preacher like myself, is here. He would always endorse the kind of neighborly relationship that Boysie would have had. However, in closing, let me say, Boysie, you're not hearing me, but in tears, we watch you sinking. We watch you fade away. Our hearts were surely broken as we watch you fight to stay. God saw you getting tired and cure was not to be. He put his arms around you and whispered, "Boysie, come with me." A golden heart stopped beating to working hands at rest. The family chain is broken and nothing is the same. But as God calls us one by one, Boysie, the chain will link again. Farewell. Rest in peace and be reincarnated in glory. God bless.
We're going to invite the microphone. I humbly apologize. Our second minister, who happens to be a neighbor.
Good morning all. Favorite Mullah Malik's word written long ago. And melody put to it in the movie Ghost by Talat Mahmood stands fresh and new as the dew to our brother this morning. He said, Aaye bi akela, jaye bi akela. Do din zindagi, do din kamila. Pandit Munila Maharaj nicely put it on YouTube and I learned the translation. That verse says, he come alone and he will go on his own. It seems as if it was just 2 days. 2 days of happiness and festivity. My dear friends, my brother Boysie boarded the train of life in 1940. He met his mother, his father, his elder siblings, and they traveled along. They saw others embark and some disembark as time traveled along. And he learned from those who were, those who came, and those who passed on. I want to tell you something, God is a good archer. He shot Boysie like an arrow into this world to do his work. And if, as Pandit referred to, there's a good book that says, if you give drink to the thirsty, food to the hungry, clothes to the naked, if you care for the sick, or even if you visit the incarcerated, the prisoners, the least of this you have done it to me. My dear friends, Boysie was a gentleman. He opened up this grocery business in the 60s, the 1960s. And I remember looking at this shop with huge bags, jute bags with rice and flour and dal and sugar. And people like Boyne and Michael and his brother-in-law, they packaged things. Things were not readily packaged for your taking up. People came with notebooks with their lists, and they will pack it, they will pour oil, they will make it ready. I want to tell you something. Boysie fed this community. He fed many people outside the community. We would have seen 4x8 pieces of plywood advertisement, and people will come, and people will participate and patronize his business. Gentle, wonderful, calm, a person with a splendid personality, always displaying a pleasant countenance, ready to listen, ready to serve. My dear friends, I want to tell the family, be comforted. Between B and D, birth and death, is C. Those are the choices. And Pandit said, the character. He will leave us, but his memories will not die. I want you to be comforted. God must have snatched a lily from the garden, and there is turbulence. But I want you to be comforted in the fact that he's in a safer place. He is in the master's hand. Alan, you wouldn't have to go and fill prescriptions. My dear friends, Boysie would not think about who will be the next president in this island. He wouldn't have to pay no utility bills. Electricity could come monthly or when. He doesn't have to. Nothing. No rent. No mortgage. He's safe in the master's hand. I know today, when Khalil Gibran said, as the flames will rise to the sky, we will say he is gone. But there will be another crowd of witnesses who will say he is coming. There will be a reception for him. And God will be that immigration officer. And I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, he will embrace him in his arms and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the rest for you. I know Mr. Duncan, Mr. Paulie, you would have to get a new all-force partner. He loved it. He loved his recreation. He loved his family. My dear friends, I say to us today, Boysie has left us. What will be our status when we arrive at this time? We maintain our health plans, we pay our insurances, we take our cars for inspection. What about your salvation plan as you see it? Pundit said after death is the judgment. What would you use your senses? What would you say you use your senses for? Be prepared. Be prepared, my dear friends, to meet your Maker. He's arriving, he's waiting for him, and he will be happy. Remember that. Let taste return to your taste buds. Let color appear to your perception. All went dry when he left. Darkness and the clouds press you down. But God is good. He's taking care of him. And if you make the choice, he will take care of you. God bless you, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Harima Pitra Bhagavani ki Jai. I know there are many people that would want to say something at this time, but time does not permit us this morning. This morning I want to remind you that if you have remembered nothing I would have said, that while there are many uncertain things about life, the only most certain thing about life is that we will die, and time is slipping away. This morning I want to also say to you that before trying to be a Christian, before trying to be a Muslim, or even before trying to be a Hindu, let us learn to be good human beings first. And I'm going to say with no apology, before you could love a God in the heavens who we have only heard of, we must learn to love those around us who we can see. And if we expect God to forgive us, then we too must learn to forgive. And if we expect God to be favorable to us, we must learn to be favorable to those around us. This morning I want you to do me a favor. I want you to just turn to the person next to you, in front of you, behind you, and tell them, God bless you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let us all stand at this time as we bow our heads in prayer, praying on behalf of the soul. Hari Om Gita Ganga Gatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahma Vidya Brahma Varetri Sandhya Muktagini Artamata Chirananda Bhavagani Vainashini Veritri Parananda Tattvarta Jnana Manjani Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Danurdana Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Drvani Tirma Tirmama Asatoma Satigamyatam Soma Jyotirgame Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. God, I recognize you as mother. I recognize you as father. I recognize you as friend, and I recognize you as foe. I see you in the plants and the animals. You are that God of omnipotence and omnipresence. You are that God who dwells in me and around me. I bow to you in adorations. Tvameva matascha pita tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sikha tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. God saw that you were getting tired and the cure will not be. So he placed his arms around you and whispered home to me. With tearful eyes we watch, although we love you, we cannot make you stay. A golden heart has stopped beating, hard-working hands have gone to rest. God has broken our hearts to prove to us He will only take the best. This morning when I say Ramanam, please reply Satyahe. It means only the name of God is true. Ramanam, 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 Harima Pitra Bhagavani ki Jai. And this morning, finally, I want to say thank you to everybody for switching off their cell phones and not disturbing the service. Let us all be seated. For those of you who wish to view the body, to offer your flowers, whatever it is you wish to do, now is your time to come. Offer your flowers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There is another member of the family that wants to pay tribute. While he's doing this, we will continue to make the offerings about flowers, etc.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. First time I say, thank you Panditji for a good job you have done, and all the pastor, good words that rendered about Uncle Boysie. Now, Uncle Boysie, his father name is Boysie Roopnarine, and his mother name is Roopnarine. He has 3 brothers. My father is the biggest brother, Boysie second. The third is Kisun. Today, when I was showering, I was checking the list for the family, the older heads, and you're seeing one by one leaving. And I'm asking you the question now, who is next? What is next? Now, Mr. Boysie Roopnarine, which is the founder of the family, he had his 3 sons and daughters, but Mr. Boysie had did a fabulous job by bringing up the 3 boys, which is Ramdev, Boysie, and Kisu. My father was very instrumental with Boysie and Kisu and his father, which he respected his father a lot, which is Mr. Boysie. And he had the privilege to do what he wants to do, and nobody questioned him. But one thing about the boys, they grew up very respectable, which is Boysie, Kisu. They will never answer back my father. If my father speaks to them very roughly, they will say very quiet and humble. Now today, life we live in, we can't speak to our own children. Things have changed, and things are changing. As the pundits know that. Things have changed so different, we lose respect. The word is respect. I asked my father to say a speech one day in my function. He said, all I have to say, respect, and he handed back the microphone. And I could never understand what he was trying to say, till it unfolded now that you can see what's happening in society. So all I'm saying, a pattern from these guys who lived previously, they leave an example that we should follow as the younger ones, have respect. So Uncle Boysie, I'm telling you what you live a good life. He woke with us, and I remember myself, my little boy, 12 years old, coming here with the first load of flour, as the pastor was saying. I, as the little boy, came with a load of flour, 120 bag of beta flour, packed right on the spot, and offloaded alone. Because I didn't want to go to school. And I tell my father I'm not going to school. So he take me in a truck TM 6848. I went to the mill, National Flour Mill, I load the flour. When I load the flour, I alone was loading the flour. And he left me, so I said, what are you trying to do? I wear a black pants, black shoes, and I went for the load of flour. And when we come back here, he made me offload alone. So I said, if this is the penance you're going to give me, I am going to show you that I am not going to school. And I never went to school based on that. So Uncle Boysie had run a very good business here, and my father and my grandfather, they made all the decision, and Uncle Boysie always go along. So this is all I want to offer, that he is a good person, and Uncle Boysie, thanks again for the love and the affection you give to us. Thank you, Sitaram.
We thank you very much, Uncle Pablo. Hari Mahapitra Bhagavani ki Jai. So at this time, we're going to make the offering of the flowers, and in a few minutes from now, we'll be leaving to go to the cremation site. So those of you who wish to view the body, etc., now is your time.
Everybody's too down. रामनाम सत्य है, रामनाम सत्य है, रामनाम सत्य है, हरि महापवित्र भगवान की जय। Let's go to God now and the handle foot first. रामनाम सत्य है, 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 रामनाम सत्य है। Stop. रामनाम सत्य है, रामनाम सत्य है, रामनाम सत्य है, हरि महापवित्र भगवान की जय। Let's hold in hand together. Ram Naam Sach Hai, 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 Ram Naam Sach Hai. Stop. अद्यमगोटस्य प्रेतस्य त्रितोयं यादयते तरुणप्रविष्टा दीपं न्यायते तरुणप्रविष्टा दीपं न्यायते तरुणप्रविष्टा नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Ram Naam Sach Hai, Ram Naam Sach Hai. That's what we do. Yeah. Not the dolls. The dolls Boat Island. Boat Nation. Harima. Vyas Bhagavan Prakashana Puriso. Om Karan Vindi Naparanam Kar Vindi Vrishantam Patrasya Kutishanam Padmutam Manasasmarami Shantakaram Bhujagashenam Parmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasabhisam Nidavaranam Shivangam Lakshmikantam Kamalarikam Yogviryadvanyam Bhakti Vishnu Bhaveram Sarvalokekanakam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ramana Satya Harima Pitra Bhagavani ki Jai. Let's live now, deeply clothed into the chitta.
Last one. Lift it up. 1, 2, 3, left. Center.
What do you look at?
What do you note from there?
Let's line it up. What do you look at? Take this one. Om Pavu Hampa Karma Paparma Pundarikaksha Trahima Pundarikaksha Sarva Papa Haro Hari Punatu Punatu. Yes, sir. Om Ayodhya Vahan Ayodhya Mathura Maya Kashi Kanchi Avantika Dwarka Surishnavi Namaha. Om Prithvi Namaha Swaha Prithvi Namaha Swaha Agni Namaha Swaha Antariksha Namaha Swaha Vayavi Namaha Swaha Nitya Namaha Swaha Surya Namaha Swaha Digambara Namaha Swaha Chandra Namaha Swaha Chandra Namaha Swaha Varuna Namaha Swaha Uti Namaha Swaha Vachi Namaha Swaha Prana Namaha Swaha Chakshuse Namaha Swaha Sruta Namaha Swaha Lobita Namaha Swaha Lohita Namaha Swaha Virudhya Namaha Swaha Adisya Namaha Swaha Stadisya Namaha Swaha Ashtavya Namaha Swaha Vasudha Namaha Swaha Rajase Namaha Swaha Vayade Namaha Swaha Ayasa Namaha Swaha Pranasa Namaha Swaha Stapasa Namaha Swaha Vyasa Namaha Swaha Dhanase Namaha Swaha Suchite Namaha Swaha Suchamana Namaha Swaha Sukha Namaha Swaha Tapase Namaha Swaha Tapya Namaha Swaha Grata Namaha Swaha Rachitra Namaha Swaha Rashit Namaha Swaha Rasa Namaha Swaha Vamana Namaha Swaha Ankara Namaha Swaha Gavi Namaha Swaha Lakshmi Namaha Swaha Brahmanya Namaha Swaha Shvevya Devevya Namaha Swaha Spivona Nava Prithavevyam Namaha Swaha Om Kamkesh Jai Manish Jai Vagrave Saraswati Naguna Samhita Vivana Surati Kaita Keep that down.
You just take something from maybe I'm able to can't study right now too. 2 days after he come out good, he come and buy beer or something and go. A little class on the shoulder. But it's better it happened that way. Well, I walk outside the road, but it. You see people that go down. Warm wood. Smart, yeah. So run. They're really doing good shit.
Light the camera first. Everybody pass him and put in your puchara inside the box.
In the meantime, it's just on you can try that and you see right.
Just by the foot.
Come by the foot, come.
Vasudevaya. Good. Close it up, brother. Bring it up on you. Pick up your rings. Loosen them out. Give it. Don't stand up that flag, son. Bon, come stand up that flag on top. Stick your teams up that flag. Stand up that flag. Loosen them out. Rest them out. Do so deep after the flags.
Nếu có phải làm người ta phải làm. Nếu con cầm đông như ai thì con bring it on for what for them now.
Some strawberry mixed up. Yeah. Just choose it like choose something strange. Yes, you could have anything that's local stuff like that. We get some local stuff, very nice. My cotton and stuff like that. Yeah. You can even make it in, put a little salt and then you can make a little chow, not pepper. Here what you want to assist teacher. This will be different chow and I want to consider. No, because in that way it will stay good.